I tell people on my sessions to this day, well, I'm going to go on a simp account. I'm going to go on a simp account. I said, do yourself a favor. You're not going to learn anything on a simp account. The reason you're not, because you're not risking anything. You got to feel the emotions of risking. You got to feel what it is to lose. You can't, everything is not fun and games. So anyway, it was a tremendous preparation for me to walk in there. Graduating high school, they all started in with the yearbooks, and they all wrote these salutations of what they're going to be in life. How they knew that at 17, I don't know, but they all knew it. They all knew it. I had one line. I put one word, and that was business. Did I know what business was? Where it was? What kind of business it was? No, I didn't. I just wrote business. I mean, I sold encyclopedias door to door. I mean, I was a manager trainee for John's Bargain Store. People in this part of the country will know what that was. Soup to nuts across the board. Delivering newspapers at 5:30 in the morning. Stuffing groceries at the supermarket for a quarter a day, whatever the hell it was. Stuff like that. But I'm saying this for a reason. Nothing is an accident, folks. Really, nothing. It's all predetermined. Nothing is an accident.
And so when did trading come into your sort of path?
Yeah. So I never traded a stock in my life. I didn't have the money. I saw an ad in the New York Times that said, Wall Street Runner or whatever they called it. I said, oh, New York Stock Exchange. That's impressive to me. I'm going to go and apply for this job. So I put on my Easter suit, the only suit I owned, and only came out once or twice a year, and walked into the stock exchange, filled out an application, got hired. I want to say one other thing. Because it's important, the way things are supposed to work out. My first job interview was for an assistant accountant at a bookkeeping firm, okay? And I didn't get the job. But I didn't get the job because I tested worse than the kid who was looking for the same job. But the HR person, or whatever they were called in that day, came up to me and said, I'm sorry, but I have to hire the other. He got higher on a test. But she said, I know I'm making a mistake. And that was the end of that. Then I went to Wall Street. Then I got this clerk, a job as a runner on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. That simple. But I remember one thing, and one thing to know, I found a home. When they suited me up, you had a special jacket, blah, blah, blah. And then you walked into that trading room. They escorted you into that room. It was like you got hit with a boulder. I mean, the energy that came out of that room that I felt went through my bones, from the toe to top of my head down to my bottom of my toes, man. It was stupid. It was like, oh my God. I had no idea. No idea. And that was it. I was hooked. After that, I just did what I did. I did my studying. I did my due diligence. I passed whatever I had to pass. I was not a great student in school. I didn't care. I didn't think they were teaching me anything, quite frankly. And, I rose through the ranks in New York Stock Exchange as a runner, and then as a reporter, somebody who recorded all the sales that took place. And after 9 months, they offered me a job as a clerk. What is a clerk? A clerk is a trainee, but they work for a firm. And that was a big step, because that puts you on a level where you could start to advance if you were good enough to advance. Nobody gave you anything. And I had a hard time, I can tell you. Honestly, I had a really hard time, because I couldn't understand what a quote was. I didn't understand what a bid and offer was. I really didn't. I mean, I was a workaholic, but I couldn't get it through. Okay. So my boss at the time sent me up to the over-the-counter desk. Over-the-counter was rock and roll. There was no NASDAQ. This was 1,000 people making markets in every stock on a planet that wasn't listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And this was Dodge City. Check your pockets, I'll tell you that. It was Dodge City. But when you were making markets, it was the best education I ever got, because after that, it just all came together. I went down to the trading floor again, and just kept moving up on a trading floor, where I got the confidence of many, many different companies that called me, to represent them, to be their clerk, and to stuff like that.